Hello, my name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to day 8 of the Fragment of Your Imagination Challenge. Throughout this month, we are doing a different fragment every day for 31 days. You can find more information if you go to Facebook and look up 7 Forests, 5 Rivers. They have a beautiful packet you can download explaining the challenge and telling you the list of all of the fragments. So what I'm doing my fragments on is this little template I created. It is available in the description of this video, and it's just a free download, and you can print it on cardstock. And then the nice thing about it is the fragment shape is already there. We just draw inside of it. Okay, so we are on day 8, and it is a seed pattern. Here we go. All right. Let's get our little paper here. Day 8. Start week 2 with a seed using Seashimmer by Michelle Dugdale, CZT. So Seashimmer, and this is the little fragment. It's so cute. So if it was not in a fragment, let me grab my scrap paper here. It would look like this. It is a backwards S shape. So backwards S that ends in a little curve. And then from there, we aura this little spiral. So we come up here and we go around, and then we tuck in just a little bit like that. And then we bump off of here and tuck in. Do it as many times as you need to. And then the last one, you just connect to the top. And then we do these little bumps like that. So in a seed shape pattern, you can do the backwards S like that, if you would like. You can do it like this so that you've got room to put in that aura. And then the way that they did it was their aura came down to the bottom of that seed shape. So, am I doing this or I'm doing it backwards? Okay, and then the aura came down here and then went up. So that's what I'm going to try to do. All right, let's see if we can do this. I'm going to start with pen because I don't mind making mistakes, but if you want to start in pencil, you can. This seed pattern that I created has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to do it 6 times, which means we should be experts by the end. Okay, I'm going to begin with, I think, this one right here. And I'm going to start with that backwards S shape. And I'm going to let that little spiral kind of hover above the bottom. So backwards S. So I start with a backwards C shape like this. And then I come down and give this little curve. And if you want to make the end of that a little bit thick, that's a nice little detail. And that would be a cute fragment by itself, just like that. Okay, but we're going to continue. So now we're going to aura this, coming around. I'm going to bump the side. I'm going to come all the way down, and I gave it a little curve there, and I can ink in that extra part. And then we come up here and we tuck in. And then we tuck in again and go up to the top. I did not have a lot of room for those little pieces, but it still turned out, and I like inking in that extra area. Over here, I could fill this whole space with these little bumps and ink in those little areas. That's so pretty. If you wanted yours to look exactly like theirs, you could do your seed shape in pencil, and then you could erase the pencil after you put those little lines in. Okay, let's do the next one. I'm just going to turn my paper as I go. So I'm doing the backwards C, which turns into a backwards S. So I go over, down, do a little spiral. And maybe I'll do that on all of them right now, just because I've got kind of that muscle memory of doing it. So I'm going to turn my paper. So I think of the letter C, and then I go backwards. Backwards C. And one more. It's so pretty already. I love it. Okay, now I'm going to do the auras. So I'm going to do my aura, and I always start like above the spiral on this line up here. So I'm going to come around, and I'm going to tuck down in there. I'm going to ink that little spot. And then I go back up, and then I tuck in a little bit right there. And I like kind of giving this a little bit of width at the bottom. And then I tuck in, and I tuck in, and I can connect. However many little tuck-ins you can fit is fine. And on this side, I do a bump, 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 bump. I'm going to try not to turn my paper now, just because I know it'll make some of you dizzy. So we're just going to, I'm going to try to make it sideways. Okay, I'm auraing this little spiral, so I come over here, and I can go down to the bottom, come back up, and then I tuck in. Tuck in, and connect to the top. Add those little bumps. And ink in any extra area you have in those seeds. All right, I'm going to aura this one. Tuck in. So you can kind of see that shape better right now, how I auraed, and then it made this like little petal shape. And then it tucks in when it gets down here. And then we do a bump and a tuck and a bump and a tuck. I do feel like I'm getting better the more I create it. So practice is good. All right, for this one, I'm auraing that spiral and then going down to the tip, curving back up, and then do that little tuck down. bump and tuck, bump and tuck. And then do the little bumps on the other side. Fill in any spaces. I have one more, so I'm going to come around here. I like how it looks even without filling in the extra space. It's just such a cute tangle. Okay, how are yours coming along? I'm just going back and like changing the shapes a little bit because I really like the thicker bottoms. All right, in the middle here, I'm going to trace that circle a little bit so it's got that nice dark middle. And I'm going to add a spiral in there to kind of match what we've got going on in our seeds. So now you know I like to kind of finish the tile with some embellishments. So a couple of thoughts. One is I could just come out and do some little fescue, which is little lines with a little thick edge. I could come out and do some spirals to match these. Or I could just put in some large orbs with the spiral in them, which would be print top. So what do you think I should do? I feel like print top would look really cool, but then it's like another tangle. I don't know if I should do that. So I think I'm just going to do some fescue. I'll do some straight and some with some curves. So I'm just going to come out here like this and give that little thickening at the end. I love to make mine cross over each other. You can throw in a curly one if you want. And I'm going to add some little dots. All right, I like it. All right, let's do some shading and then we'll be done. Okay, so for shading on this one, the first thing I kind of want to do is to put some right along that first backwards S shape, so it looks like all of these are tucking into it. So I'm going to go right along here and right down into that spiral a bit. And then when I soften that and pull it away, it's going to give the slightest shadow, like these are folding into there or tucking in. Okay, I'm going to go up this way. Can soften each one of those. And then I think I'm not going to shade on the inside anymore. You could shade like on these little edges and sort of round those out, but I think I want to put some shading on the background. So I'm going to go on the outside edge of each seed. And if you want, you can see how mine turns out before you do it to yours. But the seed itself already has so much ink in it and that cute little shadow. I just don't really think it needs any more inside of it. Okay, so I'm softening this and then just kind of pushing it out. And the goal is to be really dark by the shape and then get lighter as we move away. Look how pretty that's looking. Put a little bit more of that shading right in the middle. Keep that nice and dark. There we go. And if you want to take your blending tool that already has some shading on it, you could do like the bottom or right-hand side of each of these, just to give those a little bit of dimension. All right, so with any of these fragments, you know, I've made this little grid myself, but I don't plan ahead to like what fragment's going to go in each one. I just know that the order that they tend to make them is square, circle, triangle, seed. So they just kind of land this way, but you could make this seed shape up in this one, or one like this, or you could do it as a border where you have seeds just kind of zigzagging across a tile. So play around and have fun with Seashimmer, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, bye-bye.